Look up at the night sky. What do you see? Countless stars, maybe a planet or two, and the occasional glowing satellite gliding silently above. It's a beautiful, peaceful sight. But what if I told you that up there, hidden in the darkness, is a massive, high-speed junkyard? And what if I told you that we put it there? Today, more than 131 million pieces of space debris are orbiting our planet. That's not a typo. 131 million. Some are as tiny as a grain of sand, while others are as big as a school bus. These aren't stars or asteroids. They're the ghosts of our space adventures, lost astronaut tools, dead satellites, and fragments from old rockets. It all started back in 1957 with the launch of Sputnik 1, the very first satellite. Since then, humanity has sent thousands of objects into orbit. Every single launch, every mission, has left something behind. It could be a bit of metal, a flake of paint, or an empty fuel tank. Over the decades, all these leftovers have formed a vast, invisible cloud of junk, and it's all racing around Earth at unbelievable speeds, over 28,000 kilometers per hour. So, what kind of strange things are floating up there? Well, among the debris, you can find some truly bizarre items. There's a single astronaut glove, lost during a spacewalk, endlessly tumbling through the void. There's a whole toolbox that drifted away from an astronaut back in 2008. There are even mirrors left over from old laser experiments and forgotten spy satellites from the Cold War, still silently circling the globe. They might seem like harmless relics, but each one poses a very real threat. Think about it. Even a tiny piece of metal, no bigger than your thumbnail, moving 10 times faster than a bullet, carries immense energy. If that tiny fragment hits a working satellite, one that provides your GPS, weather forecasts, or internet, it can shatter it instantly. And what happens when a satellite shatters? It creates thousands of new pieces of debris. This is the nightmare scenario scientists call the Kessler syndrome. It's a chain reaction where collisions create more debris, which leads to more collisions, and so on. If this cascade were to happen, it could create a debris field so dense that it would make near-Earth orbit completely unusable for generations. Imagine a world with no new satellites, no space travel, no Hubble telescope. We would be trapped on our own planet, surrounded by a barrier of our own making. The good news is, we're not just sitting back and watching this happen. Scientists and engineers around the world are working on some incredibly creative solutions to clean up our orbital backyard. Some are designing space janitor satellites that could use giant nets or powerful magnets to capture debris. Others are developing harpoons to spear and drag larger junk out of orbit. There's even a push to design future spacecraft with a built-in deorbit plan so they can burn up safely in the atmosphere after their mission is over, instead of becoming another piece of floating trash. The goal is clear. We need to clean up Earth's orbit before it becomes a permanent space junkyard. We look at space with a sense of wonder and awe, but we've left our fingerprints all over it, just as we have on our lands and in our oceans. But here is the hopeful part. If we can learn from the mistakes we've made down here on Earth, we can apply those lessons to protect the final frontier. Space belongs to no single nation, yet it is a shared responsibility for all of us. Let's work together to keep it safe and accessible for all future generations. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into our orbital junkyard fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into science and space. See you next time.